aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkit. It's the night train classes in session. I hope you have your notebooks ready because I have more introspection for you today. Um, I'm gonna talk to you all today about divination, which is a large part of the spiritual community and what is very attractive. All right, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and log into the mainframe. And as you tune in, don't forget to hashtag shadow work, hashtag shadow light. You know it's only right when you know who you are in the light. You already know when it's late night, we hanging out with each other. We're gonna have some discussion. I wanna know how you been, how you feeling, and if you ready for some of this energy. About to swing on through here. What's up, Emerald Jade? How you doing? Peace, family, peace. So y'all see your girl is trying to sing, okay? Y'all inspired me to try a few looks, and trust me, it was quite a challenge because I am like not your usual like makeup girl and hair and all that other stuff. So thank you for the encouragement, all of you beautiful ladies, and all the nice looks that y'all put together. Thanks to you all, I decided to try a couple of things. What up, J Gang? What up, Vicky? How you doing? Kid is in the building. Peace, sunshine. I don't know. I am having a lot of fun with this work because it's pushing some of my own buttons. So, for example, I provide consultations, and some of it, includes some divination. All right. I don't really focus on that aspect. And there's a backstory to why. All right. So, get your notebooks ready and let's get started. Today, I'm calling this the shadow of divination. So, let's start with this. Most times, the idea of wanting to have someone divine or look into my energy to see what's going on is because something's going on. I know something's going on, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And so the gift and the tool of divination is used really for clarity and to give you some direction on um, things that you're unclear about. It's pretty straightforward. You know, it's very different from ritual work, and sometimes ritual work comes out of it because you come to find out that there's some things going on that confirm some of your feelings. Like you're like things keep kind of falling apart, you keep hitting walls, and then you get a reading and they're like, oh yeah, like somebody did some witchcraft, or like, oh yeah, like this ancestor needs to be taken care of. Or if you're in a like if you're practicing Lukumi or any type of Orisha work, even for those of you who are working with Loa, they'll say, okay, this deity needs to be appeased or whatever's going on, right? And so you're like, all right, great. It always feels good to have your spidey senses validated by a tool that is neutral. It's totally unattached to your feelings. It doesn't necessarily know you personally. It's just going to tell you what's going on, right? Well, one of the things that I noticed is that there can be this attachment to needing to know what's going to happen. This is the first part of divination that gets pretty tricky. All right. Some of you probably have your own personal deck of tarot cards. Some of you have your reader on speed dial. And you don't do anything. It's like you wake up in the morning and don't even know how to start your day without divining or looking at what is the energy of the day. Okay? And I will tell you that there's a practice for priests that we do look at what is the energy of the day so that we're not walking through here blinded. However, what happens when you begin to rely solely on a divination system that you forget to use your own common sense? You will ignore the blatant signs in front of you of what's going on because such and such told you that everything is fine. How many of you have experienced that? And be honest. Be honest. You know you're in a situation, you're not feeling too good about the situation. So you go hit the cards or you go hit the shells, and whoever's doing the work for you tells you, oh, things are great. It's fine. Right? Oh, this is great. And yeah, your love life is wonderful. And, whatever the new job is going to come through, or, I see money. Oh, yeah, it looks like a new love is going to come in the way. And you're like, I don't feel like that. Okay. I really feel like who I'm with is like being a real jerk. And I'm really not feeling them. But okay. And so then you go with that and you're like, I ain't even gonna worry about it no more. Because the cards say that everything is fine. What you want to be aware of in that space is that you have now given your power over to a system, so much so that you lose faith in yourself. You lose the very thing that makes you a human being, which is next to God, right, on earth, that you have the power to decide no matter what is going on in your life. But the more you rely on an outside source to let you know what is or is not good for you in your life, you give away your power. Right? Now, I'm not telling you this so that I don't have any more clients, because I happen to have a really nice base of clientele. And this is one of the reasons why. When doing this work, my consultations, and this is not, I'm not trying to plug myself, but whatever, it is my channel. But when working with a client, I'm not only telling you what I see, I'm also having a conversation with you to ask you, how do you feel about what's going on? How do you feel about what's going on? Is this resonating with you? Is this something you want to continue to do? Do you want to change it? Because from what I see, I'm just on the outside. We here for you. We, meaning my spirit team, your spirit team, everybody's coming together to figure out what you want to decide to do. Okay? What if the cards tell you that such and such is a fantastic mate for you, and you just not satisfied with them in bed? Do you just let that go? Do you go, oh, I guess I just need to get over my personal desire to feel bliss when I lay down with my mate, because the card said that this person is honest and they're going to provide for me, and I'm just going to suck it up. Everything else is, this is what it is. Nah. Don't settle for that. The other side, right? How many of you have gone either to the mat, because I know some of y'all practice African spirituality, keep it funky, because I do. I know you in here because you like, yeah, she with it. I'm with it. I'm with all of it. Okay? Go to the mat, right? And they're like, oh yes, this Odu, This Odu says that you are going to be so wealthy. Your life is so, you're destined for goodness. You're destined to own all of these cars and these properties and your family. Yes, so many babies. I see them. They're coming. You, you are a king. Wonderful, right? Yeah, I know I'm silly. But this is real, right? Everything. Ire. Blessings. Good, 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 good. And you're like, phew, I really needed that bit of good news because I'm just wondering why things so hard all the damn time. Alright, so I'm blessed. And I'm clearly destined to be, you know, America's next top model. Right? But then, after getting that news, what do we do with that? What do we do with that information? Do we go and we go, all right, well, since I'm destined to be great, I could just do what I'm doing. I'm not going to look at the fact that what I just was told was that I have the potential to be great. That things are aligned in such a way that I will be successful. However, those things are sitting, it's like sitting inside of a cup. And unless you pick up the cup, which requires work, grab the cup, lift the cup, and drink the cup, right? Requires work. You got to do something to get that potential in motion. It's not going to happen. And yes, there's a couple of things that just happen out the blue, right? But even when the good things just happen out the blue, there's no way for you to sustain it because you didn't do anything to get there. You don't know how the mechanism works. You don't know how to keep on pumping it out. So again, you don't want to just rely on a divination system to tell you that everything is fantastic and then you just relax and that's it. Now, are there moments when you should be relaxed? Yes. And most of you know that because you're feeling burnt out and there's nothing else for you to give. Right? And someone will tell you, relax. This phase right here is called patience and relax. Doesn't mean patience, relax, don't do anything, don't brush your teeth, don't wash your ass, don't go to work. No. Just means at this time, this period in your life, I'm going to need you to just focus on self care and do whatever work it is that you need to do so that you will still maintain your livelihood until you can get into a state of flow and divine intervention or inspiration lets you know what is next for you. Because that too is a part of life. But if you have the shadow of being an a workaholic, where you're continuously working, hammering out at something, even when like your spirit is like, I am exhausted. I have nothing to give these folks. Things in my personal life are falling apart, and I can't figure out my head from a toe, but I'm still gonna keep on pushing. That's a shadow, right? Like, who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to impress? So, the other part is this, right? Um, there's, and this is really specific to divination in I can only speak from my stuff, where we do ebos, which are sacrifices. Okay? Sometimes you get a reading and the news is, they tell you the situation and then it doesn't come with ire or with blessings. It comes with imbalance, like osogbo, something is off. Something's out of balance. And a sacrifice needs to be made in order to remove that blockage, remove that disharmony, and bring back some balance so that you can continue to flow forward. All right. One of the things that I learned over the years is that just because information that's revealed to you is not necessarily all the glitz and glamour and like, popping bottles celebration. It's not a time where you need to feel like this is the end of it all. Because you have to remember that one, the fact that you could have gotten in front of someone who can advise you of what is coming up before it actually happens and why things are kind of falling apart for yourself gives you the opportunity to prepare your game plan, to prepare your action steps to bring success, which is one of the most empowering seats to be in because you physically see and have been experiencing being held back, and you'll be told what exactly is causing some of those things to happen, including your own actions, right? Whether it's the way you've been thinking, the way you've been speaking, um, company you've been keeping, or being reminded of things you're not supposed to do because that's just not for your spirit, right? And then you're given the opportunity to really get your hands dirty, to do some work in order to bring those blessings forward. And even if it's not the blessings of something extra, it's just the blessings of removing the obstacle. That in itself is a blessing, right? What we experience on the other side, where we do receive like amazing news, okay, is that sometimes that creates this state of entitlement where we forget that just because up until this point we've earned these blessings and these rewards for our work, that is through our work that we receive these blessings. So even if it says there's nothing for you to offer, there's no ebos, there's no sacrifices, right? One should cultivate such a mindset and energy about themselves of gratitude that even when things are great, that you empower yourself by acknowledging the things that you have been doing to get to that point so you can continue to do them and be grateful that you have the ability to do them. That way, you don't fall into this sticky place of entitlement where living actively with spirit, you get tested again to see if you really recognize your power and your relationship with your life and your will to get things done. Are y'all following so far? And is this helpful and making sense to you? Let me know in the chat. Tell me what kind of experiences you've had. Let's talk about it. Let's definitely talk about it. Thank you, Moyo. Oh, and thank you, Keela. Y'all like this hair? I was like, oh, I like big hair. I do. Caribbean Grimoire. She said, "Spirit tests you more times, and over again." Yeah. And then Cheryl said, "So you get tested again to see if you really learned the lesson." So here's the thing, right? Everything we do in life, according to, this is a chiism, all right? Hashtag cheatism. Everything we do in life is going to be a test of our will and our ability to choose. Everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever. When we have good things happening in our lives, I find that the individuals who are able to acknowledge the goodness in their lives get more goodness. Okay? I find that the individuals who can be aware of some of the mucky stuff, trying to mind my language, some of my mouth is dirty, the mucky, murky stuff in our lives, and not just define ourselves by those phases, but just be aware of it and then begin to ask, how can I get through this phase? They too are very well versed in victory over adversity, and they tend to come out ahead as well. The individuals that I find suffer the most will be the ones that everything is given to them all the time and they lack appreciation. Because when the lessons come for them, they're so damn hard only because they don't have the muscle to understand how to get out of not having. Okay? The people that are most successful have found themselves without and learned how to gain momentum and build and gain for themselves. And once you learn that, no one can take it from you. You see what I'm saying? It's like if I carry a child and don't let them walk until they're 4 years old, the muscles of their legs are going to be very weak, and they'll be this little 12-month-old running circles around them, and they try and figure it out. Why? Because they've been enabled all this time and have not been tested in such a way to strengthen their muscle. So when you do feel like you're being challenged, especially when it feels like you're kind of really like stuck in a rut, you gotta ask yourself, what muscles are you being trained to use? Because the muscles can include asking for help when you need it. The muscles can be thinking outside the box. The muscles can be reorganizing your finances. The muscles can be reevaluate what you truly desire and see if you're in that space. But if you're not doing that, you become weakened. Does that make sense? Crystalline said, oh, thank you, Irma. Crystalline said, just had to cut off a friend who did the same thing a previous friend did to me. That situation brought about several lessons in one, but I was able to recognize the test. What did your friend do to you? I mean, maybe you don't want to say in detail, but at the same time, give me a little more detail so I can speak to that, Crystalline. And Caribbean Grimoire, exactly. Your spiritual faculty is something that you have to build and develop. Because even so, I can do my own divination, right? But I still go to someone else for like a second opinion. Or if I'm too emotionally involved, I definitely want to talk to somebody who's not emotionally invested in what I need some clarity about. Because I understand the human psyche and I understand the power of my own spirit. Some of y'all are so pushy about what you want that your spirits will tell you what you want to hear. They'll get tired of telling you that something is not for you and will begin to tell you what you want to hear. And you would just be projecting and projecting and projecting and wonder why you still battling with the situation. Okay? And there is such a thing. There is such a thing as a false yes when it comes from the deities. If they already done told you, that's a no. but you want to keep on pushing the button, right? Maybe today, maybe it was no yesterday, but today is yes. Maybe it was no last weekend, but now it's a yes. Sometimes it's just a no, and you need to just keep on moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yes, spirits do lie. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you ain't know and you listening to this for the first time, yes, spirits do lie. Moya said asking the same question in a different way. Exactly. And guess what? They will play with your ass the same way you trying to play with them. They're going to be like, you know. So I'm going to keep playing with you. Yep. You could do whatever you want. It was about loyalty, but it caused me to re-examine what within me keeps attracting that type of situation. Listen, y'all. Loyalty is important to me. For some people, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Moya, you already, you know your stuff, girlfriend. You know your stuff. Alright? Loyalty. Don't let your loyalty get you caught up and going down the wrong lane where you forget about your actual self. Because people who are not loyal to you, they can't hide it. They can't hide it that long. Especially if you live in clean, baby. I always say you live in clean, it's going to come real quick. Real fast. You better believe it. Because it'll keep on showing itself until you got no choice but to keep it pushing. Alright? Do y'all have any other questions about this subject of some of the shadows that occur in light of divination, in light of knowing? First, loyalty is to self. That's right. And Crystalline, you should, I hope you hear that too, because if you stay loyal to yourself and what works for you, no matter what, then the people around you are going to reflect that back. Because the moment people realize that you're not the one to be played with, they're going to be real careful, and you're going to attract individuals who are really, really down for you. Look at that. I know sometimes divination reveals some things and you be like, really? Like, you lean in. You either be on the phone, be on the phone for your consultation, right? Or you be there on the mat and they go, oh, your best friend is not your best friend. They're your enemy. You be like, no, my friend? No, right? They like, am I overlooking some of the red flags? You know, one of the red flags is this, right? You ever have some friends that are doing some things that you're like, that's kind of shady. But since you're their friend, right? You're like, they're not going to do that to me, though, because they're my friend. How many of y'all got caught up with that one? Let that one slide. And then you sitting there in divination, and they talking about the company you keep. And you're like, I mean, they would never do that to me. They my friend. That's my peoples. And how many of you have such a relationship with those people that you could go to them and tell them, yo, this came up and I'm curious, like, what's up? And you trust in your gut that you can have an honest conversation. Those are some of the things you need to work out. And ask yourself, how much Not how much. How many times are you willing to just let that pass? Because I realize the elders, they'll say, oh, yeah, I used to let that slide over and over and over in my younger years because it was all about my crew. But once they got wiser, they realized if I saw something, even if it wasn't a matter of it coming my way, I would address it. Like I know elders who tell their friends when they come running to them to talk about the other friend, uh-uh, I'm not with that. You can't be talking about your friends to me because I'm your friend. And how do I know you're not talking about me to your other friends when I'm not around? I will not participate. And some of y'all, that's a hard thing to say to your crew. Because you know, they just going. And the moment you say that, you're not cool no more. You stuck up, you you goody two shoes, you righteous. Don't nobody want to talk to you about nothing because you think you're better than everybody else. Well, baby, if they triggered by you wanting to not discuss other people who are supposed to be, even if they're not your friend, but you know that's different, right? If they triggered by you saying, nah, like I don't wanna, we don't gotta talk about that. Like, keep that between you and your peoples. What you wanna do? Is it something that you live by? Or is it not? Because if it's something you live by, it's you gotta sleep with at night. It's you gotta have peace in your heart, in your mind, and know that you can just close your eyes and trust who you around. And that comes from you just keeping it real. Alright? So what is your assignment? If you had a reading recently that you either got really good news, right? Did you take that on and take a moment to be grateful and plan out your next action step so that you can continue that momentum and bring more of that into your life? Or did you decide that now you don't have to think about it, everything is just going to come to you? And two, have you gotten a reading or some form of divination? You know what? I'm going to throw in some dreams as well. Some of y'all are skillful in your dreams. I'm not going to say all of y'all are. Some of y'all is just straight projecting and you creating stuff and it's not like prophetic, but some of y'all have that gift. I ain't gonna take it away from you, right? I can't anyway, right? Um, but you got some type of divination or prophecy about something negative. And how many of y'all took that thing and stuffed it and decided like you didn't want to see it, didn't want to deal with it, and you just kept on pushing? Okay? And why? Why did you avoid it? Why did you avoid what you experienced and what you heard, what you saw? Okay? Ashley said she is not partaking in no negative talk and been spending a lot of time alone, and peace is her greatest friend. It bees like that sometimes. I feel you. I spend most of my time with my children, my boo, and that's it. Because for those of you who are really sensitive, you know, it can be a little irky, like to be around a whole bunch of people who are just into so many other ways of being and don't allow space for, exchange without draining. Now, I told y'all to have some variety, but for those energy vampires, no thank you. No thank you. All right. I think y'all clear. Are y'all clear on this assignment, this journaling? Um, exercise for yourselves, and how you're going to prepare your ears for listening in a different way the next time that you are getting some consultation or reading divination work done. Y'all clear? Y'all clear, clear? All right. Irma, be careful out there. Make sure you grounding. You know how to ground. All right. So, my dears, it's been real spending some time with you all. And if you are interested in getting a reading, a consultation with me, you can text me at 202 810 1876. I think I put the wrong number in there. You can text me 202 810 1876, and I'll send you a link for you to book your appointment. And if you don't have my number because this live chat is not available, you can inbox me on Facebook at Chi Vital, and I will send you a link there. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the house of Chi. Big love. Peace. Bless y'all.